Morning, everyone. Welcome to the special ceremony to honor Nancy Reagan on the newest Forever stamp honoring America's First Ladies. My name is Mark Wilson, the manager of Post Office Operations for Illinois 2 District, and also your master ceremony for today. Let's begin with the national anthem sung by Boyd Kritz. He's a city carrier out of the Morton Post Office, and he's also a alumni of Eureka College. So if you could please stand.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Boyd. To welcome you this morning, it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Jamel Wright, president of Eureka College. Dr. Wright recently entered her 6th year as president and is the first woman and first African American to serve as president of this college in 165 years. She has a passion for education and servant leadership. Dr. Wright is a native of St. Louis with a doctorate and master's degree both from the University of Kansas Lawrence and a bachelor's degree from Missouri Western State University, St. Joseph, Missouri, all in communication studies. Please welcome Dr. Jamel Wright.
Good morning. Well, as you all can see, talent runs very deep with Eureka College alumni. So thank you very much, Boyd. That was absolutely amazing. And thank you, Mark, for that introduction. I want to welcome you all on behalf of the entire Eureka College community to this wonderful and beautiful campus here at Eureka College. We are designated by the National Park Service in the National Register of Historic Places. We're the first in the state to admit men and women on an equal basis. And yes, we are the smallest to ever have graduated a future president of the United States in Ronald Wilson Reagan. As great and noteworthy as the achievements are of course, our most famous alumnus, I'm so happy that you all are here today to recognize also the achievements of his partner, the one who stood by him and supported and loved him, and the one who made it all possible, I believe, for him to have achieved all of the things that he did. I want to especially thank the United States Postal Service and your team for allowing us to host this wonderful and momentous occasion as we unveil the Forever Stamp honoring Nancy Reagan. I have to say that the most important part, beyond being a great partner to Ronald Reagan, to the president, Nancy Reagan stood on her own. She had an influential voice of her own. She had noteworthy accomplishments of her own. And so it's so fitting to have this occasion today and this Forever Stamp recognizing her. Nancy had a strong and influential voice. She dedicated her life to public service. She accomplished much, was a staunch advocate who championed many, many worthwhile causes, and indeed those causes made our communities better. We had on our hands a power couple, as we would say. And they made their mark on the world, not only collectively, but also individually. And we are so grateful that both Ronald and Nancy Reagan loved and supported Eureka College. So I thank you again. Please don't let this be the last time you visit our historic and amazing campus. Please do come back again and enjoy and reflect on the Reagan legacy that, yes, does include reflections of Nancy Reagan as well, and her influence on Ronald Reagan, as well as the influence that this amazing campus, Eureka College, had on our most famous alumnus. So welcome, enjoy today's program as we celebrate and honor an amazing woman in the history of our country. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Wright. Now I'd like to introduce Cassandra Chapman. Cassandra is the Reagan Museum Curator and Reagan Archivist at Eureka College. She holds a Master of Science degree from Western Illinois University and is an alumni of Eureka College with a Bachelor of Arts in History and Music. Cassandra is on the Eureka College Women's Board and a member of the American Alliance of Museums. Please welcome Cassandra Chapman.
Good morning, thank you. So this morning I will be giving you a little bit of information about our wonderful First Lady, Nancy Reagan. So born July 6th, 1921, a baby started life as Anne Frances Robbins, daughter of Edith Prescott Luckett, an actress, and Kenneth Seymour Robbins, a car salesman in Manhattan. After that marriage ended, her mother married a neurosurgeon, Loyal Edward Davis, who adopted Anne and changed her name to Nancy Davis. Nancy graduated from Smith College in 1943, where she majored in English and drama. In 1949, Nancy secured a 7-year contract with MGM and moved to California, where on November 15, 1949, she met Ronald Reagan. This would be the start of the relationship that would last their lifetimes. The two dated for 3 years and would get married March 4th, 1952. And much like her husband, Nancy was an active member of her community. Nancy served on the board of directors for the Screen Actors Guild for 10 years. As First Lady of California, she visited veterans, the elderly, and the handicapped. She also worked with a number of charities. As the First Lady of the United States from 1981 to 1989, Nancy was a champion against drug abuse, and she started her campaign known as the Just Say No campaign. She was also her husband's most trusted advisor and champion. Nancy supported her husband Ronald Reagan in all of his loves, including his love and support for his beloved college and alma mater, Eureka. Ronald Reagan visited Eureka College a documented 12 times, and Nancy was with him for at least 6 of those visits. She supported her Ronnie during commencement speeches, building dedications, and other special events. Nancy also helped establish the Ronald Reagan Leader Scholarship, which is an annual scholarship awarded to students of Eureka College. Nancy also met some of the first recipients of this scholarship at a reception in 1986. In 2007, Nancy Reagan received an honorary doctorate of humane letters from Eureka College, an honor for her long distinguished service, and this was a distinction also given to her husband, Ronald Reagan. After leaving the White House, Nancy Reagan would take care of her husband, Ronald Reagan, after he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's in 1994 until his passing in 2004. Nancy would have turned 101 yesterday, but she passed away March 6th, 2016. Thank you for coming today for such a wonderful event honoring such a wonderful First Lady. Thank you.
Thank you, Cassandra. It is now my pleasure to introduce our dedicated official, Marsha Hanley, Customer Relations Coordinator, Springfield, Illinois Post Office. Marcia has been with the Postal Service for 15 years, and I believe today is the anniversary of her hiring date. Marcia began her career processing mail in the Petersburg, Illinois Post Office. She moved to sales and services before working in inquiry and claims, where she was a problem solver. Now as a customer relations coordinator, Marcia wears many hats, working to help businesses develop mail strategies, training employees, and finding ways for the Postal Service to deliver for America. Please welcome Marcia Hanley.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for that kind introduction. I'm Marcia Ethel Hanley. I'm the Customer Relations Coordinator of the Springfield Post Office. I'm happy to be here on behalf of the United States Postal Service as we present the commemorative Forever stamp celebrating the centennial of former First Lady Nancy Reagan's birth. I'd first like to acknowledge and thank you all our speakers, honored guests, customers, and community leaders for joining us today. Dr. Jamel Wright, Eureka College President. Thank you and the staff of Eureka College for hosting our ceremony. Cassandra Chapman, Museum Curator and Reagan Archivist. This is a wonderful museum. Thank you for telling us about Miss Reagan's connection with Eureka College. Mark Wilson, Manager, Post Office Operations. You have helped lead large and small post offices throughout Central Illinois for many years. Thank you for supporting mail services and mailing industry delivery for America here in the heart of Illinois. Brian Shirey, Eureka Postmaster. Brian, thank you for your work to honor Miss Reagan and the Forever stamp that bears her image. One of the most important goals of our stamp program is to raise awareness and celebrate the people, places, and things that represent the very best of our nation, the very best of us. Nancy Reagan was celebrated during her lifetime as an actress, First Lady of California, and then in the White House with President Ronald Reagan. Miss Reagan joins other First Ladies, Martha Washington, Dolly Madison, Abigail Adams, Eleanor Roosevelt, and Lady Bird Johnson, to be commemorated on postage stamps. Anne Frances Robbins was born in Manhattan, New York, July 6, 1921. She was commonly called Nancy. However, her parents separated soon after her birth, and following a divorce, her mother traveled across the country in search of acting jobs. Nancy remained in New York, living with an aunt and uncle. In 1929, her mother married Loyal Edward Davis, a neurosurgeon, who moved them to Chicago. He adopted Nancy in 1938, and her name was legally changed to Nancy Davis. She described herself as an average student. At the Girls Latin School of Chicago, where she graduated in 1939, Nancy attended Smith College in Massachusetts, majoring in English and drama. Nancy began her acting career while a student at Smith College, first appearing in a short to raise funds for a crusade against polio in 1940. Under a 7-year contract with Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer Studios, Nancy appeared in 11 feature films. Nancy met Ronnie, as she called Ronald Reagan, in 1949. Together, the two started a love story for the ages. Actor Charleston Heston called their life together the greatest love affair in the history of the American presidency. Ronald wrote in a letter to Nancy, "Whatever I treasure and enjoy, all would be without meaning if I didn't have you." Nancy revealed in a Vanity Fair interview, "When I say my life began with Ronnie, well, it's true. I can't imagine life without him." She and Ronald married in 1952. Nancy's public life found a different stage in 1967, when Ron was elected governor of California. Until 1975, Nancy was First Lady of California. During her time in California, Nancy became involved in the foster grandparents program. with the guiding principle that older adults are valuable resources in their communities. People over the age of 50 can positively influence children victims of abuse and tutor, mentor, and care for children with disabilities. Nancy's next big role was as a First Lady of the United States from 1981 until 1989. Nancy, with her grace and honor, was compared to former First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy. However, public figures face criticism with Nancy, which Nancy took in stride. She detailed one meeting with a chairman of the Democratic National Committee, Robert Strauss, in her autobiography, My Turn. Strauss reflected on her impact. When you first came to town, Nancy, I didn't like you at all. But after I got to know you, I changed my mind and said, she's some broad. Reagan responded, Bob, based on the press reports I read then, I wouldn't have liked me either. Nancy Ann Ronald's most trusted advisor and companion, and an important part of one of the most pivotal presidencies of the 20th century. As First Lady, she worked hand in hand with her husband, both at home and abroad, advocated for issues on both the national and international stage. Reagan's partnership with her husband and devotion to his success behind the scenes influence and her legacy of public service made her one of the most significant First Ladies in modern times. Throughout her life, Reagan held a deep passion for her country, campaigning many causes along the way. Other causes included Vietnam veterans and the plight of POWs and MIAs, drug and alcohol abuse prevention among youth, breast cancer awareness, and Alzheimer's research. Because it's a forever stamp, it will always be equal to value to the current first class mail 1 ounce price, which means it will always be perfect for your cards and letters, and it will always show the grace of Miss Reagan. This stamp is available online at USPS.com and at post offices nationwide. And now, on behalf of more than 650,000 women and men of the United States Postal Service, I am pleased to present this forever stamp honoring Nancy Reagan.
Before we close out the ceremony, on behalf of the United States Postal Service, Eureka Postmaster Brian Shirey, I want to thank Dr. Wright, Cassandra Chapman, Melody Crickman, Director of Marketing and Strategic Communications, and the staff at Eureka College for being the host site for this ceremony. Please stop by our retail unit table to purchase the Nancy Reagan stamp and other commemorative items. Ladies and gentlemen,